What's up, YouTube? What's up, Twitch? Let's start off the evening with some Legends. I only got 2 challenges left. I might come back with Falling Order. I might switch it down to like story mode because I don't know. I want to like get to like all the secret areas. Don't want to miss anything, and I don't want to get my ass handed to me. And there's that like monster thing right off the bat, right at the spot where I am now, and I tried every game mode, like every difficulty, and the easiest one was the one I needed to be on to beat. So it'll probably affect like trophies and challenges and whatnot, but I'll experience the story better. So go for it. So I went and got my groceries. I got some, spoiled myself a little bit. I got some KFC on the way home. Very satisfied with it. The fries were a little bit soggy, but that's normally what happens when I throw stuff in my my thermal bag or thermal pipe. At first, I thought I didn't get extra fries because I should have asked for less. And I got a box. I got a box combo, and I don't like the salads, and I got macaroni salad. And I was like, oh, maybe I'll give it to someone who would like it. I just asked for extra fries. I didn't think of extra fries the last time. And the macaroni salad. At first, I didn't see the extra fries, like it's two individual things, and I just saw the one on top, and I was ready to go home. And like, oh, great. And I got one fry, and then I get home, and it's like, sweet, there's another one under it. Oh, and it's also supposed to come with one piece of chicken, and in the picture, it had a leg. And I opened the box to make sure it was in there. I'm like, oh, I got a thigh. I like legs more, but there's more meat on it. And I get home and it's like, wait, that's not a thigh. It's a chicken breast. That's like the best part of chicken. There's so much meat on it. I kind of like the legs, just because like it's a good meat to skin ratio. Because the batter. Yes, I miss Vietnam. It sucks. Um, I don't know if it's people getting sick or just getting really low quality food, but apparently some issues with Jack Astor's, and I don't know if it's if it's still the case. I was under the impression that the general manager, or at least the kitchen manager, was the owner of KFC. All the KFCs in Kingston, the owner's son was the manager of Jack Astor's, as far as I knew. Somebody didn't take over KFC, or maybe the father just didn't think he was responsible enough. It's kind of shitty that they sold it to some foreigners, and then the foreigners replaced all the locals with friends and family. Like it's great that they could. I think they should. It's great that like foreigners can come in, have a business, and like get jobs. But maybe they should create new jobs instead of just taking the old one. They took our jobs. It's complicated, and like some of the blame has to be on the owner. Like part of the condition of him selling it was that they kept the old staff, but it was just it wasn't sincere because they ended up letting go everybody except for like maybe one or two people. Just because if they did, I guarantee you they kept a few of them, because if they got rid of all the old staff after that being a condition of the sale, or making it more attractive so that the owner was okay with selling it. He was a nice guy. He cared about the staff. I guarantee you, they kept a few. I don't even know if they have any of the old staff around now, but like a year or two after they sold, like there's like one person who was white at any store. Like not to be racist, but the owners, yes, they are like Middle Eastern or Indian or something. They got nice brown skin, like very nice skin. Like, I kind of wish I wasn't so pasty. And I don't know. I'm weird. I find women darker skin to be very attractive. So, not to be like, I'm just throw this out there. It's like, I have black friends. I'm not racist. Yeah, like I should just stop. But like, no offense, but foreigners came in and they got all their friends and family jobs, and it just so happens that Kingston is predominantly white, and they're not white. It's stuck out like a sore thumb, and I guarantee you they kept some of the old staff because if they got rid of all of them, it would have been there probably would have been. I still think there were grounds for like a reverse discrimination case. If all you do, if you only hire minorities and they're not the only kind of people who want to work at your job, or if you have like really bad employees but you keep them because they're not a different race, then yeah, those grounds that no one's gonna bother with. Yeah. This is KFC. It's not like it's a great job, but to me at the time it was a great job because it's full time and I worked my ass off. And the owner before he sold, it's like the last year I got hired like the last year before he sold it, and I guess they weren't doing any raises that year probably because they were but I worked my ass off, and I had a manager. Her name was Nicole. She's one of my favorite managers. Um, we worked at Montreal Street. She just saw me like busted, like whenever there was nothing to do, and like all the things that normally had to get done were done. Like I would look for other stuff to do. Be like, oh, the walls are kind of oily from all the deep frying, so I just grab some like citrus cleaner or soap or something, and I do scrubbing the walls. And Nicole, bless her heart, she's like, okay, like don't tell anybody. Like the owners like said no raises this year, but I'm gonna have to. And she got me one, and the owner gave me one. Not to brag or anything. You're like, oh, nobody got a raise that year. That's just supposed to show how hard I was working. Yes, that's why I am at the point where I am now. It's just busting my balls, broke my back. Anyways, I saw an interesting post on Facebook. This from someone who I'm not a huge fan of. And it's kind of a shitty thing to be posting. He's a business owner. Um, bald guy, not the guy whose sister was doxing me or spamming or whatever. But he posted something like, "Oh, sometimes it's okay to fire your best employee." And it's like sometimes the numbers don't matter. Like if they piss off all the rest of your staff, I'm just thinking, well, then they're not your best employee because if you call them your best employee in the first place, that's stupid of you. Because there's more than just numbers. And I think it's this guy sells like he's a pawn shop. He started selling meat, and I'm thinking like, do you really even need to track like your staff and numbers and stuff because the shit sells itself. Obviously, if you have shitty service, people are going to go somewhere else. But it's not like we're talking like Future Shop, like Best Buy doesn't do commission, but Future Shop did. It's not like we're talking like selling dishwashers and TVs and home theater systems, big ticket items, just selling overpriced glass that people are probably going to break and come in and replace. week later. I don't know. Don't get me wrong, the stuff looks nice. It's just very fun. The stronger, thicker stuff doesn't really obviously it's not gonna look as nice. But yeah, it's an interesting article because like I could come off as that guy. Like I always work my ass off and I kind of brush up. Okay, so like depends on where you draw the line. Like if you're pissing everybody off, like it depends on what kind of atmosphere it is. It's a place where like half the people are there and just walk around, get paid, and be a pretty face, and then the other half of people there are actually putting dirt, picking up the slack for everyone else. If it's a place like that, and then yeah, like the hardworking people are probably going to piss off people who don't do any of the work. But obviously, yes, there would be a situation where you have this good atmosphere where everybody puts in their own fair share of the work, but nobody's like going like crazy overboard, like being a perfectionist or anything. And then yeah, someone shows up with brick, but like hopefully there's a difference between that guy and me showing up like at my job and being like, oh, maybe you shouldn't serve customers expired product when like our promise is always fresh. I could see how like somebody with like very low moral and ethical standards might view me as the same as that person who shows up in a good atmosphere and is just like a perfectionist and an asshole like that. Rain going on. But yeah, interesting stuff to think about. I was talking to some guy. I don't know if he's like involved. He might even be like a writer or director of some new Star Trek animated series. It looks like it's. I don't know if it's. I think it might be by one of the creators of Rick and Morty. It looks like Rick and Morty. It's Star Trek. I'm not a huge fan. Definitely not a huge fan of Discovery. I was hoping Picard would be better, but it's the exact same weird stuff. Discovery, I think. Yeah, I was having a discussion with this guy, and like I was bringing up these points, and every time, like he would act like he was responding directly to the point, but every single time he would ignore the 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 main point. Like he would just like latch on to some smaller thing that had to do with it, or it's just really fucking weird. And like this is one reply to my tweet. He's like, "See," and like blah 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 blah. It's like, and when the blah 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 after C, it's like blah blah blah. I don't want to get into it, but the content that he was like, see what I mean? It's like, no, I don't see what you mean because what he went on to talk about, it was just so disjointed and disconnected to the tweet of mine that he was actually replying to. And then later on in the conversation, the exact, it's really fucking painful to talk to this guy. And he just started like repeating himself. And it's like, this is less of a conversation and more of just an opportunity for you to broadcast your thoughts in the middle of a conversation. Really fucking weird and narcissistic. Driving my point home. But I was originally like, this is a really condescending tweet. Just the way he worded it, and then as he got into it more, he's like, "Oh, it wasn't supposed to be condescending, but it's condescending." And it's basically driving my point home, he's basically like, "Oh well, there's like some obnoxious people out there who aren't actually sincere Trek fans, and they're just being critics for the sake of being assholes. They're not actually criticizing something that they love that they'd like to see be better." And he's just acting like everybody who has something bad to say about the new shows is one of those people. Yeah, like that couldn't be further from the truth. So I might actually stop this. I'm really getting annoyed by my ears. I'm gonna trim it. I need to do my hair. The back of my neck is getting really bad because I haven't gone to a hairdresser. Set of clippers and buzz my hair, but I guess the hair on my neck grows faster. It's different than my head hair, so it's hard to cut it the same way. So I might do that and then come back. So I apologize for having any text legends. I'll just delete this stream because we got no interactions in the chat. But it was nice to just talk about that weird conversation on Twitter. Anyways, I will try and do my grooming very quickly and then be back with some Apex Legends. Or maybe if I'm not feeling like Apex Legends, I'll come back with some like Jedi Fallen. See how I'm feeling once I get my hair all nice and short. So stay tuned. Sorry about that.